A Russian man rescued after 67 days adrift in a small inflatable boat in the Sea of Okhotsk has described how he survived the ordeal by battling shivering cold and drinking rainwater. Mikhail Pichugin, 46, had set off to watch whales with his 49-year-old brother Sergei and 15-year-old nephew Ilya. But the boat's engine shut down. The trio set off from the coast of Siberia's Khabarovsk region, on Russia's Pacific coast, on August 9th. When they failed to return, Russian rescuers surveyed the area by helicopter and plane, suspecting the boat had drifted towards the Kamchatka Peninsula, but found nothing, and the search was eventually called off. Mr. Pichugin's brother and nephew later died, and he tied their bodies to the boat to prevent them from being washed away. A fishing vessel spotted the boat this week and rescued Mr. Pichugin about 20 kilometers off Kamchatka and about 1,000 kilometers from its departure point. Speaking to reporters from his hospital bed in the town of Magadan on Wednesday, Mr. Pichugin described how one of the boat's oars broke. After the engine had broken down, making the vessel uncontrollable, the phone on board was also rendered useless because there was no network coverage, but the trio used it for geolocation for a week until the phone battery and the power bank ran out. They tried unsuccessfully to attract rescuers' attention using the few flares they had. A helicopter flew past close, then another one after 3 days, but they were useless, Mr. Pichugin said in comments broadcast by Russian state television. He said they collected rainwater and struggled to get warm. There was a sleeping bag with camel wool. It was wet and didn't dry, he said. You crawl under it, wiggle a little and get warm. The trio had a limited stockpile of noodles and peas and tried to catch some fish. Russian media quoted Mr. Pichugin saying his nephew died of hypothermia and hunger in September, while his brother started behaving erratically and tried at one point to jump off the boat. Mr. Pichugin said he survived thanks to God's help. I simply had no choice. I had my mother and my daughter left at home, he said. Doctors said he was suffering from dehydration and hypothermia, but in a stable condition. While Russian media reported he lost half his body weight while stranded at sea. Russian transport investigators have launched a probe into possible breaches of safety rules by Mr. Pichugin, suggesting he could face a criminal charge and risk a jail term of up to 7 years. Magadan Deputy Governor Tatyana Savchenko said Mr. Pichugin's condition was satisfactory and confirmed the local government would pay for him to fly home and for relatives to visit.